Hey everybody, can you see me now? Hello? Are we live? We just got cut off. My electricity, like our house's electricity power just went out. Everybody here? Sorry about that, everybody. We were live watching something and then suddenly my whole power went out. So I apologize for that. I'm not sure if everyone's here now or not. All right. What I'm going to do, because literally our power went out. Yo, Killa says, stream crash. We're getting rich, you all. I mean, Mr. Sorenzo. Not really. I'm going to put a thing in the chat. Apologies all. My stream crashed. And power. And we had a brief power outage. Something happened. We're back. So here we go. Let me pin this out. Sorry, thanks for joining back, Yo Killa. Sorry, everybody. I don't know, genuinely don't know what happened. Can you guys see me now? Like, is the sound okay? Are we good? What just happened? Yeah, we just lost everybody, I think. But let's see where we are. All right, I'm just trying to make sure everything is working now. And that's a bit of a bummer. I'm going to have to go with my memory now a little. Because what happened was I had all the links, everything we needed to go through today open, and then suddenly the whole thing crashed. So let me just go back to my history, browser history. That's when it's useful. You guys give me a second. I have a feeling we got sabotaged by a lot of by acoustic guitar players. That's what I think happened. Yeah. Yo, Killa says, congrats on sobriety. Mine started 2020 when my son was born. Congratulations, dude. That's great. That's great. I have a weird, like, it makes me feel a little weird calling it sobriety, to be honest. And the reason for that is because, like, I wasn't addicted. You know what I mean? And most people are not. But it takes, what do you call it? It takes, like, really like good amount of discipline to do what you do, man. So hats off to you. Like it. Okay. So, let me go back to my history. Dorotio says technical difficulties. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The computer, like, crashed, and then the power went out here. Like, for a short time. And I have no idea why. So, we'll try to push forward and see how we go. But yeah. Let's see what happens. I'm just trying to open the old pages, guys, that I had, because I have basically a whole bunch of links saved and open, ready to go for you guys. And I'm just bringing them back to life. That's all. Just give me 1 segundo, and we'll get there. Yeah. And here we go. We're ready to go. We're so ready to go. Like this interruption didn't even like nothing happened. It didn't even come to mind. So apologies for the crash again. Thank you very much for joining back. Let us get the party started. Just one last thing. I just want to make sure that I'm back. Welcome back, guys. Just give me a second. I'm trying to make sure that the ads are not on, because automatically when you go live, the ads go on, and I don't want you guys to see the ads while we're live. So let me just cancel the ads. There we go. That's better. Yeah. So I want to make sure that you guys, like, while we're live, I want to make sure you guys, like, we can have fun and chat together without having to deal with the ads right now. So you guys enjoy the experience, have a lot of fun. Yo, Killa says that's the least we can do. It's all good, brother. I am so grateful that you guys come here live and chat with me and all that. So I don't want you to go through an ad. The ad automator is off now. So there we go. Done. Okay, so let's get the party started. Klaus said, I'm back. Let's get this party started. I like it. I like that energy, baby. I like it. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna pause the music now, and we will go back to our Epiphone Futura session. Hell yeah, let's go. Boom.
Action.
So what if I told you you could get a guitar for around $1,000 with features you'd normally find on a boutique or custom shop build? Stick around because you'll love these new Epiphone Futura guitars. Epiphone's been making guitars now for over 150 years. We're known for every player, every stage, right? So if there's one thing we know, it's that players and the way people play are always evolving. So what better way to celebrate that evolution with this new Bold by Design series featuring killer color shifting finishes, stainless steel frets, and locking tuners, just to call out a few insanely premium appointments. And they're all packaged in Gibson's most iconic guitar shapes.
Can I say something? And you don't hear me advertising for Gibson or Epiphone or talking crazily highly about them. You don't hear me often do that. All of these features are coming at in a guitar that is $900 US, less than $1,000. This is really good. To be completely fair, I think they did a really good job with these ones.
So let's take a look at these all-new guitars, focused on performance in mind, stocked with newly voiced pickups, fast-playing fretboards. They're perfect for the modern alternative, metal, to even high-gain players of today. You could easily just throw these in the back of a van. They're made to withstand every gig you're gonna throw at it. Enough talk, let's check them out. Oh, nice. Oh, light. Very cool. Look at that finish. So here we have the Futura Les Paul Custom. First introduced in 1952, the Custom comes out 1954, arguably the voice of rock and roll. Nothing complements high gain better than a humbucker guitar. I mean, over the years, the list of famous players who have used the Les Paul reads like a, who's who of music. Everyone from Mick Ronson, Steve Jones, Adam Jones, Billy Gibbons, and of course, one of my personal favorites, Mr. Jimmy Page. The Les Paul Custom has been used to define just about every style of rock music.
I know, we know what Les Paul is, guys. Come on. Okay, by the way, so this is the thing the guy doesn't say. Push and pull tone switches there for coil splittage and also changing the phase. These are like really good. Like good number of like awesome features on these guitars, and considering that they're again less than $1,000, locking tuners, like less than $1,000 guitar, really good. So there we go. That's the Les Paul. That's the Les Paul Custom, essentially, the Epiphone Futura. The next one, for those of you who are a fan of SGs, because I know we have a few people that are a fan of SGs, this is the one. Check it out.
Here we have the Futura SG Custom, SG standing for solid guitar, inception date 1961, following the Les Paul, responsible for the birth of heavy metal as we know it. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that slimmer, full mahogany, double cutaway body. So no conversation about the Gibson SG is complete without Tony Iommi, who literally invented the heavy metal genre using an SG. You've got Angus Young with AC/DC, who, the stellar killer rock riffs that we all know and love. However, there's...
Look at these guys taking credit for all the music in the world.
more to the SG than just heavy riffs. I mean, I think of George Harrison and Eric Clapton, both using one in the psychedelic late 1960s. And they've also powered punk and alternative music for decades too. Like, if you think of Fugazi and Radiohead, Sleater-Kinney, today even going into...
Yo Killa asks, is that claim legit? Not exactly. Yeah, yes and no. So did Tommy Iommi play the SG? Yeah. But could Tommy Iommi, you know, be one of the founding fathers of not inventing the whole metal, but one of the founding fathers of metal? Yeah, he was. Could he do it without an SG? He probably could. Turns out that your creativity as an artist is in your brain, not in the guitar that you play.
You know, bearers such as slacker rock heroes, you know, MJ Lenderman and Jake Kiska of Greta Van Fleet. So you can really see the range that this instrument has had a part to play in. Yeah, let's check this thing out. This thing looks smoking. Let's do it.
I really dig it. It's the first SG that I like the color of. I was never a fan of that red cherry SGs that were out there, but this is basically SG. All right, let's go to the ES. Let's go to the ES.
There we go. You know, it's interesting because when I see 355s, they always have like the old school vintage, you know, cherry finish or burst or something like that. So seeing it in a new color kind of gives me like a new impression of the guitar. It makes me want to play it. Makes me want to play some different stuff on it, you know? Yeah, let's check it out. This is cool. Really cool. And here we have the Futura ES355. Introduction 1958, one of our top tier instruments of the time, right? Semi-hollow body tones, the first model to feature a stereo output, and it also had a baritone for extended tonal options. Now in the hands of players like B.B. King, the ES355 became an electric blues icon, right? But over the years, you know, there's been diversity in players across the board. You've got Keith Richards, Johnny Marr, Alex Lifeson, and Noel Gallagher. They all prove that it's a winner for rock, indie, and alternative styles. You know, stadiums across the world, you see this guitar being played. Another big guitar that makes a bold statement. Let's give it a quick spin.
See how much less, how much like a little bit, see how much more mid-heavy and more like wet. It's not wet, but it's like mid-heavier the sound of this guitar is comparing to the SG. Because I don't think they changed their amp or anything else. And I think the pickups are the same too. It really speaks of like the difference that you get from a semi-hollow or a hollow body guitar. You know, that internal resonance in the sound hole does bring the mids out. You lose the tightness of the sound, and you can clearly hear it here.
So continuing the flexibility on these Futura instruments, you've got push-pull pots for the coil splitting both on the bridge and neck positions, and of course that phase control there. You know, just having single coil tones as well as humbucker tones gives you a variety of musical styles to play from this one instrument. And then of course the phase, you know, I'll use that for a little trick in overdubbing guitars, or if you want to maybe get a solo to cut through the mix a little bit different than the other guitars that are layered there. Premium, you know, trim on this, you get the cool multi-ply binding. You're going to see that on the pickguard as well. And then finally that mother of pearl split diamond inlay at the top of that Kalamazoo headstock there.
So there we go. So that is the ES. Let's go to the RD. Let's have a look at the RD together.
So coming out in the late 70s, it's a unique shape for us at the time, right? Earlier models, believe it or not, featured active electronics by synth legend himself, Mr. Robert Moog. Originally introduced in '77, the RD, it's basically a cult classic, right? I mean, heavy and alternative players have been using it for years. I mean, think about Dave Grohl, the Ghouls in Ghost, Lee Malley of Bring Me the Horizon. On the bass side, even Chris Novoselic of Nirvana was using it quite a bit. It's big, it's bold, and yeah, now it's back. Let's check it out.
the sound difference. Yeah, so there we go. You got the RD, Firebird.
And here we have the Futura Firebird Custom, debuting in 1963, a bold evolution in our offerings at the time. Believe it or not, designed by automotive stylist Ray Dietrich. He took inspiration from those classic cars of the time. You know, think about the lines on a vintage automobile, right? On the fins on the outside here and all that. It's an uncompromising instrument. The Firebird has found a home in many musical styles. Think of, you know, Johnny Winter, Keith Richards, all the way up to like art rock experimentalists like, you know, Phil Manzanera of Roxy Music and any rock heroine PJ Harvey. We've even seen Dave Grohl use a Firebird with the Foo Fighters. Just a killer guitar and a voice of rock and roll all its own. Let's take a quick listen.
He's playing the perfect song for this guitar, by the way. Hell yeah. There we go. So we got that. The Flying V, I know some of you guys are a fan.
Talk about pushing boundaries and blowing minds, right? I mean, look at this thing. It looks like a spaceship going to Mars or something, right? It's radical, futuristic look here and vibe. It basically went on to become a huge staple in rock music. I mean, think Jimi Hendrix, Albert King. They made it iconic to begin with. And then, of course, it gets into the 70s and 80s, of course. You know, you've got Michael Schenker, Kirk Hammett, who also made it synonymous with heavy music thanks to their work with UFO and Metallica, respectfully, right? Yeah. These days, though, you know, you'll find a Flying V in most every genre. I mean, everything from modern blues, indie, and progressive metal. Let's check it out. So this particular finish is called Solaris Shift. Really cool. You can see the yellow, and then it kind of goes into like a little bit of a pink and a red in certain angles, right? On these new models, you're gonna notice the new Epiphone ProBucker Ignite pickups, right? Based off of a PAF design, Alnico 5 magnets, you're gonna get a lot of great tight low end, creamy mid-range, controlled highs, you know, note clarity, note definition, and a good punch for lead and rhythm styles.
Bang. There we go. So that is the Flying V. And then lastly, the Explorer.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Dude, that's killer. All right, finally, last but not least, the Futura Explorer Custom, released in '58, crazy for the time, right? Discontinued in '63, and then brought back by all the rockers of the '70s there, and probably the most iconic metal rock shape there is of a guitar. Nothing quite makes a statement like an Explorer. Down-picking titans, think of, you know, James Hetfield, blues rockers like Alan Collins of Leonard Skinner, stadium heroes like The Edge from U2, and of course our very own brand ambassador, Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm, have all used Explorers extensively over the years, and it's more than just a metal machine. Personal favorite of mine, I can't wait to check it out. Let's do it.
there you have it, folks. This is the new series of these guitars that came out. I have a feeling that one of these guitars, because you can't, it's not really fair to talk about the whole series, but one of these guitars will be it's going to be a top seller this year. I just don't see it any other way. One of these guitars, in all likelihood, either probably the Les Paul, is going to be one of the top sellers, like in this year in the guitar market as a whole. And the reason for that being, number one, obviously you have the Alnico 5 pickups. He says it's going to sound like a PAF. I disagree with that. It's an Alnico 5, so it's like a completely different sound profile. So you got the new modern pickups. You have locking tuners. You got that color shifting, shape shifting color. You have, the phase changing and pickup coil splittage. You have compound radiuses. You have all these awesome features, and the guitar is like $900. Like, these guitars are not they're under $1,000, which you don't get that much features usually in a sub-$1,000 guitar these days. So that's why I think this like the Les Paul, like the common shape, probably like the Les Paul, is going to be a top seller. But yeah, what are your thoughts? What do you guys think? So, looking at this, what are your thoughts? Which one did you guys like the most? Because I know Klaus says love that flying V. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I think the color on the flying V was one of the best ones. I really dig the color. So yeah. The yellow V is kick-ass. Yeah, it looks really good. I agree with you. It really looks good. Funny enough, I was thinking, like, between an Explorer and a Firebird shape, just the body shape of the guitar, I always preferred the Firebird for some reason. Despite the fact that there's nothing traditional in the way I play. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that, the Explorer is probably a more modern version, or maybe even the RD, but I always like the Firebird when it comes to, like, big boy guitars, like big, bulky, chunky guitars. I always like the Firebird better than the other ones. So, yeah. But I have a feeling, look, I think, in all likelihood, the Les Paul is going to be a top seller this year. I just don't see it any other way. And I haven't seen anything from many factories like so far that impressed me as much as I was impressed by the features here. So yeah, definitely it's going to be something that I'll be playing and trying it out when it arrives locally. We're going to be playing around and figuring them out. Yeah, exciting, really exciting. So that was like a really good thing. Funny, huh? They released it in April and not for NAMM. That's like another interesting thing. So this is like the thing that you guys like, for those of you, because some of us like would think, it's just like, all the big releases come out of NAMM. It's not always the case. So yeah, it's not always the case. So there you have it. There you have it. All right, I missed out on a lot of chat, so let's quickly go through the chat before we jump to the next thing. Doroteo says Sweet 16 was great. I'm glad you had a good time, dude. And I know, Doroteo, you worked a lot to get those dance moves right, and you did the lessons and everything. So good to hear, man. Klaus says, one time when I was playing World of Warcraft, I was doing a quest with my paladin to get my war horse, and my power went out literally 2 seconds before I could complete it. That sucks. How long did that take? Doroteo says, back for the attack. Hell yes. Klaus says, Black Sabbath started it all with metal, in my opinion. Yeah, they had a massive role in it for sure. Oh, no questions about it. Black Sabbath and Ozzy had a big role in there. It's just that, like, because clearly they're trying to sell guitars and market guitars, and so what he said made perfect sense, but it's hyped up, you know what I mean? Yeah. And a nice shout out to Alec Lifeson. Yeah. The arty taste is definitely an acquired taste, says Klaus. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. This is definitely an acquired taste. Yeah, no, 100%. 100% agree with you. And he's a way better player than the Gibson CEO. I haven't seen Cesar Guaycan actually playing. I haven't seen it. So yeah, I'll take your word for it. But he's a good player. He played well. Like, let's be honest, it's probably not all in one take. So I don't know how long those guys had to, play. I had to like do it over and over and again to get the take he wants. But yeah, no, everything looks good. We like it. We like what we saw. I think they did a good marketing campaign for it too. The videos looked good. But here are the guitars, dude. Have a look. I mean, like, I'll just go to the Les Paul just for the sake of going to a Les Paul. Look at that. This is a new feature, by the way, this 360 video that they put in there. That's a new feature. But yeah. It's a really good thing that they're doing because now it actually shows the shine in different angle. That's nice, right? So this comes in 3 different colors essentially. So you got the Twilight Shift, which is the blue one, blue purple. Right. And then you got the red one. Right, the cherry red. And then you have the yellow one, which I thought, this looks awesome. This honestly looks really good. Klaus says, oh, that's nice. I think I like that more than the V. It's like a gold top with extras. Yeah, yeah, very, very similar vibes. That's a good way to put it. So yeah, that's the guitar. Weight-relieved mahogany body with a maple cap, glued in mahogany neck with a modern C-profile, Probucker Ignite pickup, color-shifting gloss finishes, premium gig bag. It comes with a gig bag, too. And it has the Les Paul modern curve there as well, for those of you who are not familiar with it. See this curve here, this heel-less design that you could see you can see in Gibson Moderns, the modern series of Gibson Les Paul. They brought it here too. This is a no frickin' brainer. Is all I'm saying. Like, I'm tempted to buy now. Albeit, like, I'm not sure about the gig bag, but other than that, this is like awesome on paper. I haven't played with it yet. I'm not sure if this in Australia, it has arrived in Australia yet or not. But on paper, all of these features for less than $1,000 is awesome. $900. Yeah. Oof. Klaus says, I could buy one tomorrow, but my wife might kill me. Look, you gotta do a pros and cons, right? Here, this is the advice that we give to our friends on the stream every time. And the advice is, every time, like, think about it like this. Obviously, I'm with my partner, you're with your lovely wife, and we all love our better halves. Fine. But it happens sometimes, to the best of us even, that some heated discussions take place and she gets upset with you, as happened to me. My advice is, whenever, not just to you, Klaus, to everybody listening, whenever your wife gets upset with you, buy a new guitar. Now, that's not going to make her less angry, but at least you have a new guitar, which is, I think, a win. It's a win. So this is, you spent $4,000 on 2 guitars the last 2 months. Okay, now I get it. I understand now. I bought an LTD EC1000. Oh, it's a Les Paul shape. Yeah. 2 months ago. And then the Epiphone Les Paul Standard 3 days ago. Okay, I get it. All right. I understand why Yeah. You've done more than I did, man. This year. I actually bought 2 guitars too. I bought 2 guitars in 4 months, and you did it in 2 months. I like it. I like your athleticism in the guitar acquisition syndrome. I like that. But yeah, what a series. What a series. You don't hear me saying this often. Hats off Gibson. You gotta give credit when it's due. We like it. Anyways, so yeah, will be interesting to see. Let me check out and see if I can find, like, do they have any of them here? Epiphone, Futura, Les Paul, Firestorm. Yeah, I mean it's some stores in Australia got them, for example. And you can pre-order. So no, they haven't arrived yet. They're not in the country yet. It's in pre-order. And price-wise, so Americans buy it for $900 US. Aussies buy it for how much? USD to AUD. Fucking A. So Aussies buy it for $1,400. That's ridiculous. So in American dollars, like if you buy it in America, it's $900. But if you buy it in Australia, it's $1,400. That's huge, man. That's ridiculous. And that's all because what really 1,300 Canadian dollars here. Really? So how much is, hold on. La Canada. Where's Canada? Canadian dollar. There we go. Yeah, so you guys play almost the same. You guys play almost like identical. So it's $950 US, right? So you guys play like, it's almost like it's $50 more. In Australia, it's freaking like, this is ridiculous. Holy smoke. So $900 US. It should be, yeah. And they're selling it for how much? $1,900. This, Australians pay $1,360 US. Like $400 more. That's ridiculous. Yeah, there's a whole ocean to get to. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And there is an ocean and a whole war going on in the middle of that. You know what I mean? So I understand that, but that's a massive percentage-wise. How much is that? Calculator. So that is 1,360 divided by 900. Yeah, that's like 50% more. Yeah. Australia has even less people than Canada. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. The Canadian market is similar size to California. That's a big market. Okay. That's a really big market. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. But yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, like, screw this. We're moving out of Australia. I'm going back. I am going back. This is not working. Unbelievable. Okay. Klaus says that 90% of us live within 100 miles to the U.S. border. Really? So you live in South to Canada. Nice. Okay. I used to call North Dakota South to Canada. but I think you really live in South to Canada. All right. Shall we jump to the next item on the docket? I saw this article just as a break for our brain. Let's go through this article and then we'll jump to the next item. Klaus is not Ottawa. Yeah. Okay, it's kind of south. Yes, my I got family and cousins that live in British Columbia. Yeah, I got family in Vancouver. So there we go. Let's do this. Check this out, y'all. I saw this and I was like, Jake Lee is starting the debate again. So I thought, let's have a chat about it. Jake Lee said a good amp will make almost any guitar sound good. And Jake Lee picks a side in a great rig debate. And I'm like, that's a little weird. We actually talked about Jake Lee's guitar last week, didn't we? But he sort of brought it back up again. So he's like, he said something around the lines of, you know, I'd rather have a good amp because the crappy amp will make any guitar sound bad, but a good amp will make almost any guitar sound good. And I have some really cheap guitars that I love where the action is high and they're kind of funky, but I don't have any amps that are bad and the amp is more important. And this perspective shaped not just decades on stage, including his tenure with Ozzy Osbourne, but by also a lifetime of gear hunting. And that's what he talked about. And this is the article. When I read it, I'll tell you guys this. I was like, okay, the thing that this argument doesn't consider is the tactile feeling of the guitar. Crazy high action, bizarre thick neck, or whatever that makes it uncomfortable. No contour on the body, right? All of that combined, I was like, you know, no, I think the guitar is more important. I get it. As a musician, you care about the sound that you produce is what you really sell at the end of the day. The sound and the image, right? Not how you feel with your guitar. But can you sound actually good if you don't feel good with the guitar? Is my question. The personal experience with that instrument. So I can say, like, for like a hobbyist or a non-professional musician, and professional means like it's your full-time job, right? You earn money out of it. That's how you pay the bills. That's a definition of professional. For anybody who's not a full-time professional, right? I don't understand how amp can be more important than the tactile feeling and that experience with the guitar. Jake Lamont, Jake MTN, Jake Lamont. I'm just gonna go with Jake. Jake on Twitch says the Futura Bold is fire. Yeah, pretty good. I agree with you. But yeah, I thought that was like a first quick article I wanted to show you guys that I thought takes a couple of minutes for us to go through it. But also, one other news from Gibson. So Gibson launched this Les Paul Studio Double Trouble models. And for those who don't know, there were essentially a couple of studio models. Not a studio model. What's the, not Tribute, not Studio, the Standard. The Standard model, there was like a version of the Standard modern they produced that didn't have any pickup covers, essentially. And they brought that back at the same time with the Futuras when the Futuras were announced. So, and then following the success of the Les Paul Standard Double Trouble, the studio version brings bold Double Trouble attitude to even more players, right? So they brought it out. Again, it's American made. They're just limited to 500 instruments per color, and that was like another news that came out. Comes with Burstbucker Pro pickups and double classic white and no covers. So that was like another brief news that came out of the Gibson world that I thought to share with you guys before we jump to the next item on the docket. Big moves. I like what they're doing there. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but this week also, they were doing some marketing campaigns on Matthew Heafy's Epiphone. You guys know the singer for Trivium, the lead guitar player, the rhythm player and the lead singer for Trivium, Matt Heafy. He also has a Epiphone signature guitar. in 6-string and 7-string, and they were pushing that out as well today. Not today, this week. This is the guitar. Not the white one. The white one is discontinued. It's this. And the new version is not with EMGs. It's actually with Fishman Fluence modern pickups. So those are the ones that were also getting pushed this week, which I thought that was interesting. Yeah. So the new ones are coming with Fishman Fluence. There we go. There was a limited edition one, I think, that was coming with Evertunes as well. But yeah, Gibson's been making some move this week, so we like that. We like that. Yeah. All right, shall we jump to the next item on the docket, ladies and gents? Let's do this. So we talked about Gibson, one of the big because, you know, like, guitar market is like Gibson and Fender is like the Pepsi and Coke, right? That's been the case for a while. I know PRS guys are coming in, making the market more athletic. Other brands are coming in, but Gibson did these moves, big moves that we talked about so far on the stream. Then the Fender guys came out with the Vintera III. Vintera III. Now, Vintera, for those who don't know, are the Mexican-made Fender guitars. Those are the ones they call Vintera. Right? And they came out with Vintera 3 mid-60s Telecaster. So now, what has changed here? A few things. So the Vintera 2 models, when they came out, they sounded like a generic 60s kind of sound profile, was something that Fender was going for, made in Mexico. With Vintera 3s, they're going specifically for like the mid-60s sound. So both the selection of the pickups and the C-shaped neck that you get out of it is more specific. So they're a little bit more specific with the Vintera 3 models that they just released. And we're going to see some videos about it in a second too. Right. It's still a traditional radius neck, so it's still a 725 radius. And dare I say, it's still using the same kind of like ethos of Telecaster, slabby body, so no contours, nothing like the Pro 2 Series, for example. Comes in with alder or ash body. So that's like, these are the things that have not changed, but they're essentially going for something a bit more specific in the 60s era. They call it the era correct details. Like, they're made it more like really, really mid 60s. That's that specific year that they're going for, is the difference. Let's have a look at the video together and then then talk about it. Yo Killa says, this time they said it's more true to the inception date. I checked them out. Nah. Really? Okay. Let's check them out together. See what they're about. Let's see. Hello. There we go. That's better. I'm on mute. That's the idea, right? Now, what? Killa says cosmetics, yes, nonetheless would still sell my kidneys to bring one home. It's still a thing of beauty. Yeah, I hear you, dude. Look, they're really good. Like Telecasters, just the design of the Telecaster has been really, like, you guys know about crocodiles. So I'm not saying that like Telecasters are like similar to crocodiles or they're bad, or I'm not calling them dinosaurs. But the thing that is so impressive about the crocodiles is that over the span of thousands of years, millennia of their existence on planet Earth, they hardly needed to evolve. They hardly evolved because they didn't need to evolve. They were so efficient at killing, at surviving, and at procreating. Despite all the changes that happened on planet Earth in the past millennia, multiple millennia, they were so good at it that they hardly needed to evolve since the dinosaur ages. That's crocodiles, right? And again, the only way that happens is if you're really good at what you do. That's Telecaster, Strat, and Les Paul, right? There was such a magic in their creation, and they all came out at the same time too, right? There was such a magic in their creation that they hardly needed to evolve. And so, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Zuhair says, is the volume or reverb that seemed to be going up and down? Otherwise, nice sound. I'm not so sure. Yeah. Killa says, that's some great analogy. I need to improve on that. Yeah, it's literally like crocodiles. If you have a look at them, like, why don't we have a look at an image of a croc, shall we? Saltwater croc, Florida. Oh yeah, those bastards are huge. Let's have a look. Look at this thing. So this is a saltwater crocodile in Florida. Okay, look at it. What? Just like, this is a dinosaur. Like, for the anyone that looks at these, like, this is a dinosaur, guys. Look at the tail. Look at these spikes on it. That's like what's that movie? Godzilla? Yeah. It's that. This freaking thing hasn't evolved in centuries because it was so good at what it does. Look at how cute and chubby it looks too. That's Telecaster, Strat, and Les Paul. Swear says mean looking. Oh, you bet. Yeah, so there we go. That's the guitar. Alder ash body, maple neck with 725 radius round laminated rosewood or maple fingerboard, and vintage tall frets. We like that. Mid-60s C-shaped neck, vintage style mid-60s pickup, vintage style 3-saddle bridge with threaded steel saddles, and vintage style tuning machines. They are sticking to 65, mid-60s, 66. What are we talking about here? Yeah. And it comes with a whole bunch of different colors. So similar to how Gibson released the Futura Epiphones, the Vintera 3 is a whole series of its own too. So it's not just the Telecaster here. You have the early 60s Strat. You have the late 60s Strat. So if you have a look at these series here, they're being era specific in these series now. So early 60s, late 60s, mid 60s, late 50s. See that? And they're doing that in their Mexican production company, essentially. Yeah. Limited edition Vintera 3, late 50s Strat, white blonde. Look at that. Yeah. So there we go. See this? Now, all of this now, it's a really good point of comparison for us, right? So have a look here. So this is 2,600 Australian dollars, right? So if I go back to our USD to AUD conversion, right? This is Oops. What was that again? Hold on. $2,600. Okay, so 2,600 Australian dollars. That's 1,860, right? So now check this out. Give me a second. I'm gonna go to my. I'll just open a notepad. You know what? That's probably easier. Here you go. Check this out. Give me a second.
Clouds above whisper no.
Okay.
Breathing slow,
Here you go. Check this out.
watch the river
So
take the flow.
we had
Cloudy minds, they drift below.
the Epiphone
Breathing slow, let it go.
Futura.
Watch the river take the
That's probably made in China, but it has stainless steel frets. It has push and pull,
soft like a sigh.
coil splittage.
Lanterns glow.
Splittage is not a word, but let's just say it is. It has phase shifter. It has color shift. It's a color shifter. It has locking tuners. It has what else? What was the other features on that? Remind me, guys. Compound radius. Compound. And that's Epiphone. There we go. Compound radius. Alnico 5 pickup. And that's about it. I think these are the main features there, right? And now you have the Vintera, so you have the Fender Mexican Vintera, which is made in Mexico. And again, stainless steel. Um, 60s pickups. 7.25 radius. What are the other features of this? Like what impresses us about this guitar? The era correct detailedness of it, I guess. So, right? That's the vibe of this. The top one is $900. The bottom one is $1,800. So double the price, literally. Made in Mexico. Yeah. See that? Yeah, like to be completely honest with you guys, even if I was a little bit more swayed towards buying a Telecaster, which I love Telecasters, right? Even that, if I was to select between these two, I would go with the Futura any other day. Any day right now. It's not even close. But yeah. Yo, Killa says basically has everything but is branded Epiphone, so Fender wins and more expensive. Yeah. The logo, brother. Yeah, the logo. I hear you. You're right. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, unless the Mexican-made one is so superior in its build quality, because spec sheet is one thing, but the actual build quality is something else, right? Unless it's so superior, which I don't think it is, then I just don't understand that price tag. The $1,800 price tag on a made in Mexico guitar does not make any sense to me. Yeah. By the way, Yo Killa says, what's your go-to Fender, brother? I'll show you. Do you want to see it? My go-to... What's your go-to Fender? It's a Fender Telecaster. I'll show it to you. this is my go-to Fender. This is a Fender Telecaster, the Haruna's signature model. And this is discontinued. They produced it until, I think, 2021, I think. And then Haruna, the Japanese artist, got a new guitar that looked nowhere as good as this, and it was with humbuckers, not single coils. And I always want to have single coils on my Tele. This comes with DiMarzio pickups, so these are not the Fender stock pickups. These are DiMarzio pickups. The Twang King is there, which is one of my favorite Telecaster pickups. The guitar is one of the best looking guitars I've ever had. So it has like a really nice gold thing, and it has this sparkly orange things on the side. And it has a maple neck with traditional like short frets, which I'm not a fan of. And the radius is 725. But this guitar is great. It's a made in Japan Fender. And because I was born in Japan, if you think about it, I too was made in Japan. And so I have a thing for made in Japan guitars. Yeah. So that's my go-to Fender. That's my favorite. Like, this is my favorite Fender guitar. Like, this is the one. Like, you could like say, all right, Soren, we're gonna give you the chance to swap this with, say, a Professional 2 or a custom shop Fender if you want, for free. You can give this one away, get that one in return for free. I wouldn't take that deal. Like, this is the one I actually like, despite the fact that it's not the most expensive Fender out there, but yeah, like, it's not like the craziest spec out there. It doesn't have the top body contour that I usually like. You know what I mean? But it's my favorite. I just love it so much. So yeah. That's the guitar. Yeah, made in Japan. It's so good. It's just delicious. It's beautiful. So yeah, Yokilla says, "Good Lord, what a beauty!" Yeah, thank you. Zuhair says, reminds me of Steve Vai's Ibanez, the gem. Hell yeah, looks amazing. Thanks. Is it the Haruna? Yeah, Yokilla, it's the Haruna. Good catch. This is the Haruna, the older Haruna model. Because the new one, the one that they produced from 2022 or 3 onwards, that one is a completely different guitar. It's still white, but it comes with humbuckers. The color is different. Everything is different. Yeah. Klaus says, that thing is sexy as fuck. Thank you, sir. Yeah, made in Japan. So that is my go-to Fender. Yeah. All right, let me put this back in its box. Do you guys want to hear it? I could play it for you guys a little. I haven't warmed up, and I'm not a fan of playing guitars live on stream because, number one, latency issues. You have to set it. Like, the latency is going to be a problem, and I haven't warmed up. So that's why I usually am not a fan of playing live on streams. But if you guys want, I could get you guys to hear it a little. How about that? Let me stop the music. Actually, the music can play. Let me do this. I am going to tune this guitar while you guys are listening to music. Get a strap. And let's get ready to rumble. Zuhair says, what if you have a hard time playing it because you don't want to damage it? That's such a good point you brought up. Look, there is a difference between a guitar being precious and a guitar being like good looking, right? Can I guys let me tell you a brief story. How about this? I'll tell you a very brief story. And that brief story is this. Right before COVID-19 hit in, and we went through lockdowns, and for those who don't know, Melbourne, Australia, this is an actual fact, not an exaggeration. Melbourne, Australia had the most strict lockdowns ever. So for 2 years, we were in lockdown here, and we had Australian military enforcing literal curfews. So there was a time where we couldn't leave the house for more than, I think, 2 hours max in a day. And there were soldiers walking up and down the parks. There was a proper curfew during COVID years in Melbourne, Australia. You can Google that. You'll see like the details of that in detail, right? Right before COVID hit in, I bought like 4 or 5 suits and tuxes, like 1 tuxedo, and then 3 or 4 suits and trousers, right? I was just like, all right, it's been a while since I bought some new suits. Got to go to work. Got to, if there's an event, it's good to have, right? And I'm like, the ones that I've got are gotten really beat up. So I bought those 4 or 5. I don't remember how many it was. And one of them was pricier, right? One of them was like, all right, this is the one that I'm going to wear at a really formal event or at a wedding or whatever, right? It was the good one. Anyways, tell you guys this. I bought those and didn't use them because they were too precious. So work day after work day, go with the older ones. Didn't wear them. COVID hit in. We were locked down. And then after COVID, because I was a full-time dance instructor, remember? I was dancing full-time. So I was fit. I had my 6-pack abs. I wasn't like a slob like the way I am right now. I used to be fit. But what happened during COVID was that my physical activity was like down to nothing. But my eating habits were still like a person that burns a lot of calories every day. And so I became chubby. All right. Anyways, long story short, because I gained all that weight during COVID and I didn't put it off, I never got the chance to wear any of the suits that I bought, not even once. I bought good suits and I didn't get to wear them. And then I started to work like 70, 80 hours a week, didn't get the time to work out as much. It just became all about the other business ventures that I do and the guitar stuff that I do. It became all about that. And when you do 2 things, from what I've learned, and maybe you guys are more efficient, but when you do 2 full-time jobs, it's over. Like your whole week is consumed. Time flies. So I never got to wear those suits. And after some time, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to donate them. Like they're just sitting there. Sell them or donate them, which is what I did. I donated them to a charity that gives that to people that are less fortunate. And I never got to wear them. And I learned a lesson that day. The day that we donated those suits, and the tux, I learned a very important lesson. That is, if you don't use something you have now because it's too precious, because it's too fancy and you don't want to damage it, whether that'll be a guitar, whether that'll be any other thing, suits, t-shirts, anything you have, you might not have the chance to ever use it again. Right? I learned that lesson the hard way. So my mistake, your lesson, guys. If you have something you like using, use it. You never know when you never get the chance to do it again. And you never know what will happen tomorrow. But what you can do is you can maximize your time with the thing you like. So let's just say you have a really precious guitar. Maximize your time with it. It's an experience. At the end of the day, our life experience is what really matters. The fun we have really matters. Maximize the fun. Don't worry about damaging a guitar. Don't worry about scratching the guitar as you're playing it. If you got a suit, nice clothes, wear it. Right? Don't worry about it. That was the lesson I learned that day. So since then, Zuhair, to answer your question, I do not have a hard time playing it now because I don't want to damage it. Heck, there might be some people, like tonight, somebody might break into our house and steal it. Like a bunch of, like 5 guys come in with like guns and whatever, machetes and all that jazz. And it's over. They're all gone. All the guitars I have are gone. Right? You never know. So what I'm going to do, the wise thing to do, is to just use what you have and enjoy it while you can, so that you don't regret it when it's no longer there. Yeah. That was my big lesson from those suits that I bought. But yeah. Yo, Killa says, my uncle bought one from Japan, Haruna Boost. Yes, the Boost is the new model. Exactly. Bargain price. Love it. Klaus says, guitars are meant to be used. Yes, sir. Preach. Love that. Dorotio says, the mighty Telecaster. Yes, sir. Zohar says, think I agree. Thanks for the lesson. Anytime, man. Anytime. If it helps you guys not to make the same mistake, I'll share anything. Klaus says, if you don't use a guitar for the fear of damaging it, you're denying its destiny. Ah, what a quote of the day. Klaus, can I pin that? I really liked what you just said. I want to pin this to the chat. I really liked it. If you don't use a guitar for the fear of damaging it, you're denying it its destiny. Oof. I like this. All right, let's pin this to the chat. I'm gonna unpin mine, and I'm gonna pin yours. Where we go? Can I? There we go. Yes, it's pinned now, I think. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, that's a very wise thing you just said, dude. That's like a new perspective. I just learned something. Loved it. It's its destiny. Hell yeah. Yo, Killa says bars. Hell yeah. All right, let me connect this to the thing for you guys to hear. So, I know the DiMarzio, one of the DiMarzios on this guitar is called the Twang King. Let me see what the pickups were on this thing. So Telecaster, Fender, Haruna, signature white gold pickups. Let's have a look, because I know Twang King was there, but I know not talking about the Boost. Talking about the special edition model. Talking about this one. What were the pickups in this? Twang King and what? There we go. The bridge is the Chopper T. There we go. So the neck is the Twang King, which I'm always on. And the bridge is the Chopper T. Now we know. Yeah. Klaus said, think of every scratch and ding you put on a guitar, are it earning its battle scars. Hell yeah. All right, let's tune this baby. I mean, I'm gonna have to lubricate this nut a little. I'll do it after the stream. Did anybody else other than Yokilla see the nut video that I put out? Did you guys see that? Yokilla says line on Helix. Yes, sir. Line 6 Helix. The Helix LT. I gotta tell you, this Helix LT, and I was playing it with my Les Paul yesterday. It has such a good 5150 modular. My goodness. It's so good. It's a really good. Line 6 is really good. The Helix and the Stadium are really good. The LT, the full size and the Stadium. Yep. All right, here we go. Let's see what we have here. Doroteo says, oh, I didn't see it. Yeah, no, I was just like, so check it out. I made a few jokes about nuts and sluts, talking about guitar nut sluts. So we did a bit of play with words there, I guess you could say. But yeah, all right. So this is the guitar, and this is the DiMarzio Twang King sound, essentially. All right, can you guys hear it? See, hate it when I'm not warming up and I'm playing. Just I can't do it. So that is the neck pickup. What did I just play? Can someone guess the name of the song? Guess the name of the song. Master of Puppets, yes. Okay, so that is the neck pickup clean. This is both pickups. And this is the bridge pickup. So it's really bright and it's really, trebly, right? With this guitar, I'm hardly on the bridge. I don't think I've ever been on the bridge pickup on its own. I'm always on the middle, predominantly on the neck pickup when I play a Telecaster. And if I play something like a blues, this is the kind of sound I'm going for. All right, guess the name of this song. What song is that? I'll play it again. If Dorothea was here, he would know the name. What's the name of this song? Bark at the Moon solo. I don't remember it, dude. It's the Klaus is the Black Magic Woman. Yes, sir. Carlos Santana. That was the Black Magic Woman. I don't remember the Bark at the Moon. I even played it. Zuhair, I made a video of playing the solo of Bark at the Moon. I don't remember it, dude. Yeah. Klaus says, so hard to downpick that. Oh, you mean the Master of Puppets? That? Did you mean that is so hard to pick? You know what is with picking one, all right, so this is, I'm not trying to turn this into a guitar lesson, but when it comes to down picking your guitars, right? You always hear people say that, oh, your down picks, like your hand has to be relaxed. Don't tense up your hand so much. A lot of people say, look, when you're down picking, don't have your fingers open down pick like that, especially if you're palm muting, because if your fingers are in, your forearm is more relaxed and things of that nature. And for some people, there's some truth to that. Like I've figured that some people, pick like this. Some people pick like that. I noticed that different people have different way of relaxing their hands a little. So for me, doing that will never be the most relaxed state. Here is the most relaxed state for me. And so when I put it on the body of the guitar where my hand currently sits, it's its most relaxed. But the thing I figured that I've seen like with myself and my students is that you down pick, right? Palm mute down pick or just down pick, and you increase the speed. And as you increase the speed, your hand gets a little tenser, right? Stay on it. Try to mentally try to keep your hand relaxed, but it's not going to be always like possible, but stay on that speed. There will come a time that you get more comfortable with that speed, and then you get to relax your hand. Does that make sense? So if you guys are trying to build speed, right, or do something, again, I'm nowhere near warmed up, but so forgive me for this, but if you guys like doing down picks like this, and you want to speed up there, or you want to do gallops, right? If you want to do things like that, it's okay if at the beginning your hand is tense, your right hand is tense. Keep at that speed, like do it with a metronome, and then you realize that once you get better at playing that at that speed, you can now think about relaxing your hand. Now, the downside of that is that if you get the habit of doing it tense, then you're going to have a hard time to take that bad habit away. So it's important that you're mindful of it as you go. But a little bit of tension as you're building up that speed is normal. That's the point I was trying to make. So yeah. So you got to stay loose, but tensing up while you're speeding up is a normal thing. You just have to fight it. You just have to counter it. And as you become better, as you become faster, it's a lot easier to relax your hand on the slower speeds that you previously, couldn't do. Does that make sense? That's the idea. Yo, Killa says, now play the temperature. I don't know what temperature is. What temperature? Which song? And again, like just to set the expectation straight, I don't play songs live on stream because there's latency issues. So from when I play and when you guys hear, and then if I play like a background song on my desktop, there's latency. So it's going to sound like I'm off time. That's the first reason why. And the second reason is that I'm not warmed up yet. Like I go through a full warm-up routine before I even play any songs. So yeah, that's the idea. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. By the way, yo, Killa, there was one thing you said more on this on the stream. There was a video I posted that you said more on this on the stream. What was that? What was the thing that you wanted to bring up? There was something you asked me. Yeah. Doroteo says temperature. Yeah, I don't know what temperature is. I'm not sure which song that is. Doroteo says Zuhair in the house, and Zuhair says Doroteo in the house. You guys are exchanging in the houses. Dude, I can't play that. My original song, Temperature. You went really, really to the old videos, didn't you? Thanks, man. Thanks for that. That's not a guitar song that I played for a long time. I'm gonna have to learn to play it. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I hear your rhythm, think your tempo, yeah. Yeah. God damn it. I made that song years ago. That was a pre-COVID song. I don't even remember it. I have to relearn my own song. Man, I probably looked really young in those videos too. So for those who don't know, I posted this video. This was during like early COVID lockdowns, 4 or 5 years ago that I wrote. And I haven't played it for years. I don't remember that song, dude. I don't remember how I played it. Thanks for asking that. Thanks for checking that old video out. I appreciate it. So yeah. Anyways, that was the La Telecaster that I wanted to show you guys. So, shall we put this back? Do you guys have anything else on this before I put this back, or are we happy? Are we good? By the way, if you guys like to hold like a lot of chords and a lot of like you're like a chord and strum player and not a noodler. I was playing this song More Than Words from Extreme. You guys know Nuno Bettencourt, right? Extreme, the band. They have a very famous hit song called More Than Words. If you guys like want to play some like non-common chords that like has a that song has such a delicious dominant 7 to major resolution, like a dominant Teutonic resolution. So if you guys are like into that, check that song out. Like the chord progressions are awesome. So it starts like, oops. There we go. That's the one. Saying I love you, it's not the words I want to hear from you. Not that I want to. You guys know what I'm talking about? If you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you feel more than words. That song, I'm learning that right now, like just to have some chords to play. And it has such a, because I was teaching, I'm not sure if you guys saw, some of the recent videos that I've been making was about dominant 7 chords and the resolution of the dominant chord to the tonic. And I was trying to find a song that like demonstrates that really well. And that was one of the songs that I'm liking. So that was really good. So if you guys are into Extreme and you guys want to hear like the music theory of dominant 7 resolution to tonic, it's such a good song to play. All right, let me put this back. Zuhair says, woo, you're a good singer. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Klaus says, I'm a metal player through and through, but my guitar teacher has got me playing some gypsy jazz stuff to learn theory. Nice. And boy, did a lot of metal artists take a ton of inspiration from gypsy jazz. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yokila says, yes, second song I learned from Song Hits, music magazines. All right, okay. Yeah, it's an awesome song. Like, Extreme's pretty good. They're underrated, man. They really are. Okie dokie. Let me play you guys some nice tunes, and I'll put this back. Give me a second, guys. How do we end up here? We were talking about Telecasters. And then we ended up here. And we like that. Yokilla says second song. Yeah, no, we just read that. Klaus says listen to Bossa Dorado and tell me you don't hear Hangar 18 or Call of Cthulhu in that song. Really? Okay. Let me write it down. Bossa Dorado. Bossa Dorado. Okay. And it's inspired to Call of Cthulhu. Okay. Good to know. All right, dude. I got it written down. Let's check it out. All right. Shall we jump to the next item on the docket? Before we do that, though, let's just go back to my favorite part of the stream. I need to do this before we move forward because it really is probably the most important thing I do on the stream. We like that. So, guys, ladies and gents, I ran out of soda cans to pop open on the stream, and the next batch I ordered has not arrived yet. So I have green tea here, and I didn't touch it from the beginning of the stream so that I can drink this. Imagine this is a can that I just opened, pop, right? I just wanted to drink this to your health, guys. On a Saturday evening in Russia, it's 3 o'clock in the morning where when Vadim joined us. You guys are coming from the States, from Japan, Australia, Canada. Thank you so damn much for hanging out with me today, talking about our favorite stuff. Just can't thank you enough. You guys could have seen millions of other videos on YouTube or Twitch, but you're hanging out here with your boy, and I appreciate it. Want to drink this to your health, guys? Happy weekend. Wish you guys health, wealth, and happiness, and athleticism with electric guitar. To your health. Cheers, my friends. Oh, getting my Yakult. Hold on. All right, hold on. We're holding it on. Yokilla is getting his Yakult. Anybody else wants to get their preferred poison, pick it up now. Whether it's a soda, whether you're going for a beer or bourbon. Good God, I miss bourbon. Vadim, if you're on vodka, my man, let me know. You guys let me know when you're ready for the cheers. Do it. You let me know. Yokilla, we're waiting on you. You put it in the chat once you got your Yakult. Which is a delicious drink, by the way. You shouldn't drink too much of it, but it actually tastes pretty good with Yakult. There was one time I think I had 3 of them in a row because it tasted nice and I wanted it for breakfast. I was just craving it. And the toilet trip wasn't nice. Yeah. Klaus says we can't buy bourbon here in Ontario. Why not? What's wrong with bourbon? Don't tell me it's the tariffs. Yo Killa says cheers. He's back. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. To your health. Cheers, my friends. Boy, oh boy. It's good to hang out with like-minded people. Man, this is like a highlight of the week, so thanks again, guys. All right. Yeah. Pepsi Zero No More, Doroteo said, no, I just ran out. Pepsi Max is on its way. It'll make itself available again for the next stream. It'll be there. Dan Kim, thank you for subscribing on YouTube, by the way. Appreciate it. Now, Klaus said something interesting. Klaus said that we can't buy bourbon here in Ontario right now because all U.S. booze has been pulled off the shelves. Because of the tariffs? Wow, okay. It's our response to the tariffs. You're kidding me. Wow, okay. That got really out of hand. That got really like crazy extreme, didn't it? Like it just came out of nowhere. Like, so like I told you guys, I have family and relatives in Canada, right? A cousin of mine who lives in Vancouver, I was having a chat with, and just to mess with his head, and nothing, I didn't mean anything I said there in that call, but just to mess with his head, I was talking about Canada becoming part of America, like the 51st state. And I was calling the prime minister there, the governor, Governor Carney. And I didn't mean any of that. Like, I don't have any bones to pick. Like, I don't have any sides in politics. But just to mess with his head, that seemed to be very effective. An effective tool to get him yelling. And so we had a lot of fun. It was a fun conversation. So yeah. That was Klaus said that's starting some serious trouble, my dude. Yeah, I know it's a touchy subject. Like, you can't just go to another country and just like have them, right? But it was a fun thing. It was a fun conversation to have. Because if you think about it, it doesn't happen often in our lifetime that you get to like joke like something about this, like to joke about something like this. You know what I mean? But we had a good time. It was a good laugh. Like, he knew I was joking. Like, it wasn't a political thing. That's not what I'm about. Like, I'm about electric guitars, but if I get a chance to annoy my cousins once in a while, you can't let that chance go. You know what I mean? You gotta capitalize on it. Yo, okay, let's a Zoom meeting sometime, I hope. Klaus says only 2 provinces are still allowing U.S. booze on the shelves, and that's starting. I jinxed it. Yo, okay, listen. Ay. But yeah, interesting times, man. Interesting times. All right. Shall we jump to the next item on the docket? I wanted to talk about this on the last stream, but we didn't get the time to do it, so I thought we'll cover it on this stream. And that's the idea of Mango top. Yokilla says you took the opportunity and hoped for the best. Yeah, right. It was kind of like that. Not much thought went into it, if that's what you're asking. No. I was just like, oh, got an angle. So yeah, but hey, I'm talking about the next item on the docket. I wanted to bring you guys a guitar that we've talked about something similar to it before, but I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Mango tops as tone wood that is used in the guitar. So you have the back wood like mahogany or whatever, and then you have the top wood, right, which a lot of times is mahogany as well, a lot of times is maple, and so on. And Mango is this new thing that the guys in PRS are doing, which I thought it was really interesting. Just the pattern of it more than anything, to be fully honest. Like, I've never seen anything like this. If you have a look at the pattern on the wood. So, it to me, it's like a very busy mix of flamed maple and quilted maple. But this is the natural wood pattern of Mango. Out of all, like, you wouldn't expect that, right? But yeah, I thought that was a really interesting selection of tone wood. Now, I've never played with a Mango top guitar. To tell you about my personal experiences, personal experience playing it. But look at that. Like, you've never seen a pattern like this. And by the way, not a fan of the stain job on this. Like, not a fan of the actual color of this guitar. Like, it's really weird to me, right? But if you have a look at a guitar, I don't think this particular Custom 24 actually has it. No. Check this out before we go, by the way. Look at that. If I go and find the sort of like they have a cobalt smoke, I think they call it cobalt something. If I find that, you guys know exactly what I mean. Nope. Let's check out the whole comps then, if that's the case. The whole comp one really did a good job. There we go. This is another one. Look at that. That's the color I'm talking about. Here. Look at this color. And look at the pattern. Right? It's really like a busy mix of flamed maple and quilted maple. So yeah. I thought this was a really interesting thing in these guitars. That we're just going to, like, you don't see it often that a company going through a complete new tone wood, like PRS has, especially PRS, man. Like, these guys are true to tradition. Like, they've got their own way of doing things and they stick to it. But yeah, that was interesting. Zuer says, oh my, wow, look at that. Go PRS. Yeah. Yo, Killa says mahogany does that. Yeah, no, that's fair enough, dude. If you're a fan of mahogany, that's completely fine. I don't think the stain color on this is that good, honestly. But if you just look at the pattern, it's insane. Klaus says, I had a PRS once. It was a great guitar, but I sold it because I never played it. Yeah, not fair enough, dude. What PRS was it, Klaus? Which model was it? While Klaus is answering that, essentially PRS came with this new Mark Holcomb signature model that they used the Mango on at first, and then they moved that piece of wood onto their custom 24s as well. So now you have a custom 24 Mango Top limited edition, a new model that is coming out of PRS. Custom 24, for those who don't know, is their flagship model, is the PRS, right? Model essentially. So what do we have here? Let's have a listen to it, and then we'll go to the specs. Let me pause the music. Klaus says, let me check. I forget. Yeah, fair enough. All good, all good. I don't remember my own song either, so it's fair game, dude. It's fair play. Zuer says, pattern like a tiger, body stripes. I like the black, red, and green in pattern. Yeah. That's the tiger is a good analogy. I like it. Yo Killa says mahogany as in mahogany. I misread it. Let me look at your earlier comment. No, you spelled it correctly. I actually didn't read it properly. Sorry, dude. I missed out on a joke. That's a good joke. Mahogany. I really liked it. Yeah, it's a mahogany. It's a mahogany guitar. We should comment this. We should spam PRS's Instagram with hashtag mahogany. Klaus said it was a PRS SE McCarty. Ah, nice. Yeah, McCartys sound really good. McCartys sounds really good too. Traditional. Okie dokes. Shall we? Let's watch this baby. There we go.
There's a new kid in town. There's a new kind of extraordinary figured wood that we're starting to use here at PRS called Mango. It's wild looking. It has a fingerprint different on every top. It's beautiful. It's musical. Everything about this stuff I'm enjoying.
Mango is a very recent addition to our product line. That developed out of a conversation with Paul and a fretboard supplier that we have, where Paul just asked, what other kinds of woods do you have? What's interesting?
When I first saw the Mango, the supplier that was in my office, he showed it to me. I said, that's going to work really well. And 9 times out of 10, you're showing something new and it's not going to work. But this was flat out going to work, and I love that.
When I first started, that was 46 years ago, I was building period reproduction furniture using a lot of figured maple. Paul had just gotten his first commission from Carlos Santana. The problem was he didn't have all the wood that he needed. In this case, it was figured maple that he needed for the top of the guitar, and I gave him what he needed, and we've been friends ever since, and Paul asked me to come work for him full time.
Wood sourcing has changed a tremendous amount since I started. It's a lifetime event, really, buying wood and figuring out how to get really good instruments to you.
It's challenging in a lot of different ways, not only in just finding the wood, but maintaining the relationships with the people that have it, keeping them happy, and getting the material that we want.
I've known Michael Reed a long time, and he really knows his stuff. It's really a pleasure to work with him. He's always out searching wood, sending me pictures. Can you use this? What do you think about this? He's really key to getting this stuff here.
We got a really, really solid group of suppliers, and I'm very grateful that that's the case.
Wood buying is an art form. You have to have good relationships with the people that cut the trees and cut the tops. It's not just a job for them, it's a passion.
We have wood vendors that we still buy from going back to not quite the beginning of the factory, but nearly from 1986, 87.
Having a consistent wood supplier and not having to jump around and vet guys every time you have to find a different maple or more something. It's important that they know our values and what we're after, and they do.
And many of them I consider friends. I visit them on a regular basis. They can call me anytime they want. They can contact Paul anytime they want. And that doesn't happen with a lot of companies. So the personal relationships and the business relationships, we work hard at maintaining that, and they're a really important part of our company.
We are having regular conversations about sustainability and what woods to use in the future and the future of maple and mahogany and how we can keep growing as a company and still be responsible.
Basically like urban salvage. It doesn't come from a forest.
From what I've read about mango, the sustainability is great. They don't harvest a tree until it stops fruiting.
In Indonesia, a family wants a mango tree for the fruit. So it's commonly planted all over Indonesia.
All the wood that we use.
Kind of get an idea of why, like how mango came across their desks. It's their relationship with Core Tech. I have a feeling that like some of the suggestion or something like something about this came from Core Tech and their work relationship with the Core Tech people. I have a feeling. He just mentioned Indonesia, and I'm like, that's not a coincidence. Like their presence, PRS's presence in Core Tech in Indonesia has something to do with this. But yeah, he mentioned something really important, and so the reason I really kind of brought this up was not so much to not just only to talk about the guitar specs, but just to talk about the wood itself. And the reason for that is because when questions that they just asked in this was like, all right, well, what is the future of wood in the guitars? Right? And think about not just like Mango top, because these guys going to a different wood now. I mean, mahogany back is still there. It's mahogany, as Yokilla says. But you have guitars now, like companies like Aristides that are making guitars out of a plastic composite that is really high end. You have companies like Enya in China that are making their guitars out of affordable carbon composites. So the question really begs like what is the future of wood and electric guitars? And if you resolve the question of tone, if you resolve the question of sound, if you can have AI supported plugins and modulars and amps that make any guitar sound exactly the way you want it, to perfection. Like you can get a carbon guitar and make it sound like Jimi Hendrix's rig to perfection, so indistinguishable to human ear. When you reach that, the question I have is then would that facilitate the migration of current electric guitars from wood to some other material? That's an interesting conversation to me. Because the reality is that at that point it becomes only about the tactile feeling of the guitar in your hand. Because the sound, you can do whatever you want with it now. You have full freedoms to do anything you want with it. It really becomes only about the tactile feeling of the guitar. So I thought that was a really interesting thing to talk about when it comes to these guitars. As far as the Custom 24 limited edition is involved, you have basically these main core model sort of like features, right? So you got the Gen 3 PRS tremolos. You have the Phase 3 locking tuners with plastic wings. These are plastic wings because they're trying to reduce the weight of the headstock to maximize the resonance of the neck. That's why they're going with like really light, not cheap, but really light plastic material. You have your dynamic musical and open. They're versatile pickups with the sort of like the US core pickup rings that they also implemented in the S2 and SEs now. Now, figured Mango top, mahogany back, violin top carve, 24 frets, standard fret wire, 25-inch scale length. Neck is also mahogany, not maple. One-piece neck, pattern thin neck shape. We like that. Fretboard wood is Zericote. Check out the pattern, by the way. I just want to show you guys this. Look at the pattern of this. Isn't it nice? There we go. This is better. Look at that pattern, by the way. That's Zericote. For those who don't know, it's a hardwood. It's a hardwood that you. I didn't know big companies do Zericotes. Like, I've seen it on more affordable guitars, I think. I've seen it on a couple of Alibaba, like AliExpress guitars. But they're using it here, and it looks good. It looks like it's a good looking hardwood. You have to keep in mind, when it comes to like fingerboards, the only option you have is a hardwood. Like, maple is really soft, and I think that's as far as you can go. And maple on its own, I mean, maple is a hardwood, but it's a soft hardwood, if you know what I mean. But you need a hardwood like ebony, like rosewood, like wangi, like Zericote, something like that, in the fingerboard. And the reason for that is that, number one, that fingerboard is going to get abused. You're going to be playing on it, tapping on it, sliding on it. Number one. Number two, more often than not, they don't have any finishes, so the wood itself is exposed to the world and the moisture and everything else, the environment. And like, that's the, like, you know, that's probably the most important part of the guitar neck. So you really need a hardwood, something really stable there, essentially. Zuhair asks, that's a natural pattern? Yeah, that's a Zericote hardwood pattern. It's a very patterned kind of wood. It's a natural pattern, yes. It's not a drawing, no. Yeah. Giorgio says PRS. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, it's a nice thing. If I see something nice, I want to share it with you guys. Klaus says, if he talks about how it affects tone, my head is going to explode. Asplode. Zuhair says the pattern looks like an abstract painting. You're right, it does. Isn't it beautiful? Mother Nature wins all day, every day. Yeah. And it's not just used on the neck, by the way. It's not just on the fretboard. Like, have a look at that. It's also used on, like, guitar bodies, too. Yeah. And there we go. Where's the photo of it? Here you go. Look at the pattern. You can see it here. Let me see if I can find a better close-up photo of the neck. Yeah, you can see the pattern here. See that? Yeah. Yeah. How good is that? How good is that? Okay, now, talking about, check this out. Talking about fretboard wood, Zericote, 10-inch radius with the birds and all that. And headstock veneer is also Zericote, so they matched it with the fretboard. Set neck, high gloss nitro. I have, like, we talked about the nitro finishes on PRS on the last stream, didn't we? So essentially, in 2019, PRS moved to use nitro finishes on their guitars, and a little different to everybody else. So essentially what they did in PRS in about mid-2019, if I'm not wrong, I could be wrong with the date, but around that time, right, was that they did two main things with their nitro finishes. Number one, before directly applying it to wood or anything, they apply a base layer of a material called CAB, cellulose acrylic butyrate. They applied a layer of CAB, or a few layers of CAB, I think, on the wood first, and then they applied the high gloss nitro, the nitro finish on it, right? The reason they did that is because the CAB material, the cellulose acrylic butyrate, that material, is very stable, so it doesn't react with the wood or the nitro that sits on top. It's very stable, and it's very UV stable. And UV stability matters if you don't want the color of your finish changing, right? So like, you know, for example, with Fenders and Gibsons, your finish yellows out over time. You don't get that in the cab material. And then after that, so you got the wood, you put the cab on, and then you apply your finish on top of that, which is nitrocellulose, right? Now, with their nitros, from that to 20, so that was the first change, right? And the second change is that with their nitro finishes in 2019, 2020, they started to change the formula of that a little bit as well, and they applied plastomers in it as well. So plastomer essentially makes the nitro a little bit plasticky, a little stretchy and plasticky, right? So you add some plastomers in their nitro formula, and what that does, very importantly, is that number one, it stops the finish from cracking. So you guys know how like Gibson, especially like Gibson Les Pauls, get weather checked, like they get cracked under finish. Let's see if I can find a Gibson Les Paul weather checked finish. Right, so you can see it on a lot of older Les Pauls, or if a Les Paul is moving from somewhere hot to cold, or vice versa, you get these kind of chips on the finish, the cracks, not chips. Check this out, like these kind of cracks. These crackings on the finish is what we call something getting checked, essentially, right? These happen because the nitrocellulose finish that is on these guitars are breakable. Like they're fragile, but they're also like they crack, right? When you add these plastomers to make the nitro formula more plasticky, when you add that to the nitro formula, what it does, it makes the finish a bit more plasticky and stretchable and flexible. So you're less likely to get these kind of cracks on your guitar after you apply that, which is what PRS did. And then the second thing it does really well, that it helps a lot, is that with these kind of nitros, when you apply multiple layer of nitro, of this nitro plastomer, the new formula, right? When you apply multiple layer of that, they blend into each other. So you don't get like, say, 3-4 layers of nitro. You get one thicker layer and more unified. So it comes with those two advantages. And that's what PRS did in 2019, 2020, right? Then in 2024, they even changed that, and I don't think they use that cab anymore as extensively. So I think they're going for a nitro finish. So you have a certain type of nitro formula at the bottom, and then the different type of nitro formula at the top. If I'm not mistaken, they did that from late 2024. So that's the idea with the PRS finish. So when it says high gloss nitro, that's the kind of nitro we're talking about. High gloss is just a matter of how you buff it, right? You can make it satin or gloss or high gloss. Doesn't matter. Hardware, you have the Gen 3. We talked about the tremolo. We talked about the tuners. Pickups we've already talked about. Same pickup, the DMO and the treble and bass with a 5-way blade pickup switch. Comes with PRS 1046 strings, standard tuning with a hard shell case. And that's the guitar. Yeah. So, but interestingly, again, the main interesting thing for me here, because this is a PRS Custom 24 spec, right? This is a Custom 24. Fine, right? It's not a new guitar. It's a great guitar, but it's not a new guitar. But the idea that, all right, we're gonna break tradition and go with a completely new tone wood, and that I think is interesting. And the discussion around the future of wood or material in electric guitars, that is also interesting. So I thought to discuss that with you guys as the last item on the docket today. So there you have it, folks. Zuhair says, bye, Sorenzo. Be safe, y'all. I see. Later. Take care, Zuhair. Have a great rest of the weekend, my friend. And Klaus says, later, Zuhair. Yeah. So I think we did a really good job today on the stream. We had on athletic events at the beginning of the at the beginning of the stream whole thing crashed. We recovered from that, like how we recover from life and bad events in life. We like it. We were athletic today. I think I'm happy about it. So guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here too. We've been on for about almost a couple of hours, and we covered the main news of guitars. We've got a couple of more that I had on the list today. We had, especially there was this one Gretsch guitar that I wanted to show you guys, but we'll talk about that on the next stream, if that's okay with everybody. So, with that said, guys,
In the quiet of the night,
thank you so
I
much
hear
for
a
hanging out with us
whisper in
today.
the wires.
I'm talking about Klaus, Zuhair, Dorotio, Yo Killa, Sean. Who else joined in? Vadim joined in at the beginning, and then he dropped out after the stream went down. Everybody else who joined us on the stream today. Dan as well. Thank you so very much. Jake from Twitch joined us earlier. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you all for joining in today. What more can I say? If you love your guitar, play it. Remember my lesson about the suits and the tuxedos that I never got to wear. Remember that story, not a lesson. Remember that story, because yeah, it comes handy in life. Thanks again, guys. Play your guitar, love a loved one, hug a loved one rather. Have a good time. I'll see you in the next Klaus. Later, my dude. Take care, everybody. Good night.